Hello everyone, it's Harmony and welcome to the visual raid guide for the Ascension Arcadia Championship Cruiserweight M4. This is the final boss of the 8-player raid made available in patch 7.2 and can be unlocked by completing the quest, The Lone Wolf. This battle has 2 phases to it, so we will break each phase down. Just a quick warning before we begin, the outer edges of this arena are a danger zone, and touching it will inflict you with a powerful damage over time debuff. Extra Planar Pursuit is a group-wide attack that deals unavoidable damage to all party members. Healers be ready. Great Divide is a linear area of effect tank buster that deals heavy damage to the target. Both tanks will need to stack together to share the incoming damage, while also using defensive cooldowns and shields to mitigate it. The rest of the group will need to make sure they are not standing directly behind the tanks. The boss will jump to the middle of the battlefield before using Wolf's Rain, a circular area of effect centered on the boss. This will also project 3 clones around the boss. These clones will leap in the direction they are facing before copying this attack. You will need to stand away from the boss and between the projected direction of each clone to avoid taking damage. The boss will then immediately jump to the edge of the arena before charging across to the opposite side of the battlefield as a large frontal linear area of effect. The boss will then use a large cone-shaped area of effect attack from their new location. This will deal massive damage and knock players back if hit. You can easily avoid this by quickly moving opposite the boss as soon as the previous linear attack begins. This combo of Wolf's Rain will always happen in this order. Heaven's Earth will target a random player with a stack marker. The group will need to stand together to share the incoming damage. Beckon Moonlight will summon 4 clones of the boss around the arena's edge. These clones will then each charge across the battlefield in the order they appear for a half-room cleave in the direction they are holding their swords. You will need to maneuver between each of these to avoid taking damage. Shadow Chase will summon 5 clones around the battlefield that will each charge in a linear area of effect. You can easily avoid this attack by standing directly behind any clone as they appear. The boss will reposition its Gleaming Fang cannons. These cannons will then fire as a beam for the full length of the battlefield. The cannons will always fire in the order they appear. You can avoid this attack by maneuvering between each set of cannons. The boss will then begin to target random players with 3 sets of circular area of effects. You will need to avoid these as they appear. The boss will leap to the arena's edge before using Tactical Pack, becoming untargetable and summoning 2 wolf heads. You must defeat these additional enemies before the saber intensity gauge reaches 100% or the raid will die. These wolf heads will periodically cast linear area of effects in combination with either stack or spread markers. Ravenous Saber is a multiple hitting group-wide attack that deals unavoidable damage to all party members. This attack will also destroy the outer edges of the arena, reducing the battlefield size and making it possible for players to fall off the edge. The boss will also receive a buff, allowing for faster casting of Wolf's Rain and altering some attacks slightly. This is the beginning of Phase 2. 2 wolf heads will now appear during the cone-shaped Wolf's Rain attack, which will each use a delayed frontal linear area of effect for the length of the battlefield. Terrestrial Titans will summon 3 sets of 3 stone pillars around the platform. Between each set, the boss will use Titanic Pursuit, a group-wide attack that deals unavoidable damage to all party members, and slicing through each pillar in a random direction. The pillars will then fall based on how they are sliced, and players will need to maneuver between them to avoid being hit. Tracking Tremors will target a random player with a multiple striking stack marker. The group will need to stand together to share the incoming damage until the attack animation has stopped. These mechanics will now repeat with increased overlap until the boss is defeated. Thank you for watching. I hope you found the guide helpful, and most importantly, take care of yourself and each other.